A desperate husband makes a dangerous midnight deal with a mysterious food seller to save his dying wife. But when the price is due, his wife must face the spirit's true nature to protect their lives. The marketplace at Isimoni was a bustling hub by day, filled with the lively chatter of buyers and the rhythmic clatter of metal scales. But at night, it transformed into a realm of silence and shadows, where only the daring or desperate dared to tread. Everyone in the village spoke of Nkem, the enigmatic food seller. Her stall stood out from the rest. By day, it was a simple wooden table laden with steaming pots of fragrant ofensola, spice pepper soup, and crispy plantains. Yet, her food held an irresistible charm, a taste so remarkable that people from faraway villages sought her out. Nkem herself was peculiar, always dressed in vibrant indigo wrappers and adorned with coral beads. Her piercing eyes seemed to hold secrets that no one dared to uncover. One fateful night, under a moon that glowed large and golden, a struggling palm wine tapper, found himself in dire straits. His wife, Amora, lay deathly ill, and the village healer had cryptically advised him to seek the meal that bridges the realms of the living and the dead. The only place that came to his mind was Nkem's stall. As he ventured toward the marketplace, an eerie stillness enveloped him. The usual chorus of crickets and hooting owls was absent, replaced by an oppressive silence. Clutching his lantern tightly, its dim flame wavered against the suffocating darkness. When he arrived at Nkem's stall, she was already there, as though she had anticipated his arrival. Her fire burned with an otherworldly glow, casting shadows that writhed and danced as if alive. "You've come for my food," she said, her voice low and hypnotic, though Is had not yet spoken. Her smile revealed unerringly sharp teeth that gleamed in the firelight. Is swallowed hard, his desperation barely masking his fear. "My wife is dying. I was told your food could save her." Nkem let out a soft, chilling laugh that seemed to echo in the empty marketplace. "Oh, my food can heal many wounds, young man. But it comes at a price. Are you prepared to pay it?" Isa's hands trembled, but he nodded. "What is the price?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Nkem's eyes seemed to glow as she leaned closer, her voice dropping to a menacing whisper. "The price is simple. You must give me what is most precious to you." Isa's heart pounded. "What do you mean?" "I don't have much, my farm, my tools." Nkem raised a hand to silence him. "Not your possessions, fool. Your essence. Your spirit. Your life's breath. Once your wife is healed, the debt will be collected when the time comes. Are you willing?" Is hesitated, his mind racing. The thought of losing his life terrified him, but the image of Amora lying helplessly in their hut was unbearable. What good was his life if she was gone? "I will pay," he said, his voice trembling. Nkem's smile widened unnaturally, and she motioned for him to sit. She began to prepare the food, her hands moving with an inhuman speed. The aroma that filled the air was intoxicating, a blend of spices and something unidentifiable that made Isa's head swim. She handed him a small calabash bowl filled with a dark, steaming broth. "Take this to her," Nkem instructed. "She must drink it all before dawn. Remember, the deal is sealed." Is grabbed the bowl, muttering his thanks, and ran back to his hut as fast as his legs could carry him. The night seemed darker now, the shadows deeper, but he pressed on. When he arrived home, he found Amora's breathing shallow and her skin cold. He gently tilted the bowl to her lips and coaxed her to drink. As the last drop passed her lips, her eyes fluttered open. Color returned to her cheeks, and her strength seemed to flow back almost instantly. Is wept with relief, embracing her tightly. For weeks, Amora remained healthy and full of life. Is began to believe that perhaps Nkem's price would never come due. Life returned to normal until one stormy night, when a knock echoed on their door just past midnight. Isa's blood ran cold. Slowly, he opened the door, and there stood Nkem, her glowing eyes cutting through the darkness. "I've come for what is mine," she said simply. He stepped outside, closing the door behind him. "Please," he begged, "is there no other way?" Nkem tilted her head, as though considering his plea. "The price was agreed upon. But I am not without mercy." She reached into her bag and pulled out a small charm. "Take this. It will grant you 3 days to prepare. After that, no power in this world or the next can stop me." He took the charm with shaking hands, his mind racing with dread. He knew he had to act quickly, but could he outwit a being as powerful as Nkem? For 3 days, he sought help from elders, priests, and herbalists, but none dared to challenge Nkem. All they could do was offer prayers for his soul. As the final night approached, he sat by the fire, clutching the charm Nkem had given him. His mind was clouded with fear and regret, until Amora, who had been silently observing him, spoke. "There's something you're not telling me," she said, her voice steady. He hesitated but then confessed everything: the midnight deal, the price, and Nkem's impending return. Amora's expression shifted from shock to determination. "Why didn't you tell me earlier? You should know better than to face something like this alone." Amora reached under their bed and pulled out a wooden box he had never seen before. Inside were items he couldn't recognize: dried herbs, a bundle of feathers, and a carved figurine. "My grandmother taught me things about the old ways," Amora said. "She always said that the darkest forces can be fought with knowledge and courage. If Nkem is truly what I suspect, there might be a way." As midnight neared, Amora set to work, creating a protective circle around their home using chalk and the herbs. She placed the carved figurine at the center of the circle, whispering incantations he didn't understand. When the knock came at the door, it was louder and more forceful than before. He moved to open it, but Amora stopped him. "Wait," she whispered. "Let her come to us." The door creaked open on its own, and Nkem stepped inside. Her glowing eyes scanned the room, but she stopped short when she saw the circle. For the first time, there was a flicker of hesitation on her face. "Clever," Nkem said, her voice laced with amusement. "But tricks won't save you." Amora stood tall, her voice steady. "You made a deal, but you never said the price couldn't be contested. You took advantage of my husband's desperation, but you find I'm not so easily fooled." Nkem laughed, but it sounded strained. "Do you think you can outmatch me, child? I've walked this earth for centuries." Amora raised the figurine, her hand steady. "You may have power, but even power has limits. You've bound yourself to your rules, and I know them. If I can name your true nature, you must release him." Nkem's smile faltered, and her eyes narrowed. "You wouldn't dare." Amora stepped closer, her voice unwavering. "You are a spirit of greed, a breaker of bonds, and a thief of life. By the old laws, I name you Ekwensu. Release my husband and leave this place." A deafening roar filled the hut as Nkem's form twisted and shimmered. The red wrappers unraveled, the cowrie shells fell to the ground, and her once human features contorted into something monstrous. With a final, ear-piercing shriek, she vanished, leaving behind only a faint, acrid smoke. The hut fell silent. He collapsed to the floor, trembling, while Amora knelt beside him, her strength finally giving way. "Is she gone?" he whispered. Amora nodded, though her eyes lingered on the figurine, now cracked and lifeless. "For now. But these forces don't disappear forever. We'll need to be ready if she ever returns." From that day on, Iz and Amora became known as the couple who had faced the spirit and survived. And though the marketplace at Isimoni remained bustling by day, no one ever saw Nkem's stall or her eerie, glowing eyes again. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe for more captivating African folktales. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Also, Turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video.